Hello everyone, my name is Jesse. This is the Auditorium. If you're new, I like to react to video game music from games I've never played or heard about as a musician myself. I've been playing guitar for many years, and I just love all genres in general. I love music to the core. Today I'm going to be doing a double feature, by the way. This is Persona 3. This song is called Burn My Dread. It's been a while since Persona, and I don't think there's much Persona 3 going on, but either way, I'm going to be checking out two versions of Burn My Dread. First request is from Josh, which is, I guess, an early part of the game, and then the last battle, Burn My Dread, from DJ Singleton, a Platinum supporter. So, 2-for-1 special. Doesn't happen all too often, but we get to hear two versions. I'm starting with the first one, and then I guess, the last battle one. So, let's begin now. Shoji Miguro.
Taking rock, I walk away from a sunrise room. Dreamless night, moonlight melts. My ghost reach ago.
I love Persona music. Energy. This reminds me of No Doubt. Very Gwen Stefani right there. Verse number 2 now? Ooh, a little break. Extended break before the verse again. Or not. Damn. We've gone from like kind of EDM to kind of punk rock, kind of to jazz. A lot of pop influence too. I love the way Persona handles electric guitars, so like rhythmic and like jammy, as opposed to taking center stage. Clean guitar. Man. Sounds like a Roland bass. That bass is thick. Love that little melody on the keys. And then the guitars come in. Okay. Turn down all the treble. Took away the bass. Put a flanger on it. And went back to regular signal. That was cool. I don't know if that was a flanger or a phaser. I can't wait to hear the next version of this. Nice. Okay. That had a little bit of everything in it. We're going to hold our thoughts, though, because we're just going into Burn My Dread Last Battle. So we're going to revisit this song, requested by DJ Singletone. Let's go.
I will.
Okay. Maybe a duet this time? Oh man.
There's the man's man, no man ever survived. Invisible hands are behind you just now. If you ever win that race against beat, then you became cause it's no man's land. Masters in heavy rain, ultimately fame. Make shots slay, what they done is in vain. Down in AK-47, 24/7, but you got 11 persecuted by heaven. Comes from the direction, no indication. You got to let it move first, let it out, let it down, let it inside, let loose, let it in, depress. Let's get it up. Then what you gonna do is drop the hammer down, drop rhyme, drop hammer like a labor. You got blood all over, ash all over. Spit it out, some game's over.
Oh, I was hoping to come back to this part right here.
The end is coming in, spit it out like a spear, I'll burn the dread.
Oh shit. This might be a new favorite, folks. One more time. Oh, that is catchy, bro. I'm turning red.
Spit it out like a spear, I'll burn the dread.
Oh, that is so well done. Oh, I hope that guy comes back. Who was that? What's that? Who's rapping? Okay, so the focus is the guy this time, and she's the chorus.
There's the man's man, no man ever survived. Invisible hands are behind you just now. If you ever win that race against rage, then you became cause it's no man's land. Masters in heavy rain, ultimately fame. Make shots slay, what they done is in vain. Down in AK-47, 24/7, but you got 11 persecuted by heaven. Comes from the direction, no indication. You got to let it move first, let it out, let it down, let it inside, let loose, let it in, depress. Let's get it up. Then what you gonna do is drop the hammer down, drop rhyme, drop hammer, take it like a labor. You got blood all over, ash all over. Spit it out, some game's over.
Man.
The end is coming in, spit it out like a spear, I'll burn the dread.
This is amazing.
Justice to the man with no life. Tear up the fear, the end is coming in, spit it out like a spear, I'll burn the dread.
Thank you for Persona music. Woo, man! I want that to keep going. Alright, I'm gonna have to yell at the requester for not sending me a longer mix of that. Well, we'll get to this one second. Whew, I really want to talk about this one now. But okay, let's go to the first one. The first one, let's not forget the first one, okay? The first one was fantastic. But clearly, I'm almost willing to say that the first one was indeed created first. Like, it was composed first and made for the game first. I just have that feeling. I could be wrong, but it feels like it was made for it. And that was its own kind of beast. There was parts where it sounded like the Jackson 5 and No Doubt, Gwen Stefani, and there was parts where it sounded kind of like ATB. So it was kind of all over the place, right? Pop, kind of rock, jazz, EDM, and then the focus was this girl singer, who I don't know who it is, and I need to find out. And she was like the whole solo piece, so that was it. But it was much more than that, because it was just a really well layered song. Stuff kept building, and then it just kept coming back to like a neutral spot. And sorry, I just forgot that I'm wearing these. It was just an enjoyable time. It was really cool because Persona 3 has its own. Well, they all have their own flavor, right? But Persona 3, from what I've heard, has this really cool like style element. Just really cool, like just strutting down and just listening to this. Like, you can listen to this, out in public, and if someone heard it, no one's gonna really question you. Like, if that's from a game, they're gonna be like, "Oh, what is that?" You know what I mean? Like, that's really cool. So the first one, I'm really glad I heard that first, because I feel to me like that was the original, and not the latter, which is the second one here, which to me sounds like a remix. And it's kind of confusing if it's actually indeed a last battle. If that's the last thing you hear, or at least like a final boss type thing, then damn, because there's not a lot of actual like hip hop on this channel, which is kind of a bummer because that's one of my favorite genres. But I mean like hip hop. I don't mean like mumble rap that you hear lately or stuff like that. I'm talking like people that don't like. Typically, that don't like rap or hip hop or stuff like that. I'm just gonna be honest with you. You've just been listening to the wrong kind, and I get it. You've been tarnished, and I understand. But it exists, and there's good stuff out there. If you just find a good lyricist and a good beat and stuff like this. This is why I'm glad VGM exists, and reasons why I'm glad Persona exists, because it's songs like this that would shoehorn someone into the industry, and or into the culture, I guess, and make them actually like dive further into that world and maybe listen to stuff that you might have not heard, even though it's not like your traditional sound, because it has like guitars in it, and it's more like, it almost sounds kind of like drum and bass a little bit, just slower down. Like, there's a lot of emphasis on the boom ta 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 ta, which doesn't really exist in the hip hop world. The hip hop world is more like the boom bap type of thing. But this, I need to actually like probably look up who rapped on that, because there's a possibility I know who it is, but who knows. But one thing it did remind me of is, if you are familiar with this kind of style, then you might have accidentally stumbled on Shing02. He has performed a lot with Nujabes, also has his own solo stuff. So if you've heard, I'll just give you a Nujabes song that he sings on. There's a whole series called Lovesick. I believe it's parts 1 through 6. It's a big series. I think there could be more. But if you're into this kind of similar vocal style, where it's a lot more like staccato, as opposed to more like a flow, then you might like Shing02. And I recommend either Lovesick 3 or Lovesick 4. And but I'm just curious. I need to find out who did this. So give me a second, please. Aha. So I'm glad I looked it up. I usually don't do that, but I was curious. So the rapper for this, who I've never heard of actually, at least to my knowledge, his name is Lotus Juice. I looked into him a little bit, and he's a Japanese rapper. And lo and behold, the comparison I just made, Shing02 is also a Japanese rapper. So I knew there was kind of like a little like similarity in sound, because I don't want to get like super way into it, but the Japanese take on like the hip hop culture is absolutely astonishing. And that's a video for a separate day, but the way they took it into their own and do their own thing with it, it's quite magical. And it opens the door to stuff like this, like we would never hear. So fantastic. This is great. Also, by the way, this second song, I'm not gonna lie, I preferred to this one, the second one, a little bit, but because to me this sounded like the complete version of it. I kind of wish they combined. I kind of wish someone combined both of these into one. So for example, like it's got the flavor and style of this one, with verse 1 being Lotus, verse 2 being her, instead of just her doing the chorus. If I can find like that super kind of mix, that'd be great. But it kind of this was kind of like the best of both worlds, because her chorus, her hook, her burn my, that was instantly satisfying, because as it was going up and up and up with his vocals, I was like, this has to drop soon, and if it's gonna drop, it's gonna drop hard on the beat of her singing Burn My Dread. I was thinking that, and when it did, it was like that's the moment, you know, like boom, classic. So I'm definitely not going to hear this only one time in my life. This is going into the playlist, into the rotation. We're going to talk about this at some point. You're going to hear it on my streams. This is a really good song. Both versions. I do not like to compare, but in this case, I'm just going to be honest. Hip hop is a really beautiful genre if you open your mind to it and you listen to proper stuff, just like any genre, really. And you know, it doesn't really exist on this channel too much, because you know, hip hop just doesn't really exist in VGM all that often. It does in a different way, which is like licensed music from actual artists, but like original music for games with like a hip hop or like, you know, kind of flavor to it is very rare. So that's why when you hear stuff like Streets of Rage and this, it's just kind of like, it just sticks out like a sore thumb. So this one got me really excited. Also, it's just super catchy and it's really well done. I like both of them. And now I'm curious about more Persona in general. Like, I'm not sure if I've heard many other... I don't remember if there's more than one mix per song, or only some songs get mixes, or you know what I mean? And I already like Persona as it is. So if I already enjoy the songs I've already heard, there's possible other versions of it. That's kind of scary to me. Or maybe it's just a Persona 3 thing. But man, big fan. That was tight. That was cool. So yeah, I definitely recommend Shingo 2 or Nujabes if you like Lotus Juice, who's the rapper of this. It's probably up your alley. Minus the guitars maybe, but really, really cool. And that one's gonna stick with me. So, you know, less is more when it comes to catchy choruses, man. In this case, it just takes 3 words, and you're gonna remember that. When you hear this song for the first time, you'll know it for the rest of your life. It's one of those, aka a classic. So, really cool. Thank you so much to Josh and DJ Singletone for that. Persona is always welcome for very good reason. And now I really want to hear more P3, because I'm pretty sure P3 is a more hip-hop eccentric one. I think they all have a little bit of everything, but I think this is the one, I believe, that has the most like hip-hop flavor to it. So anyways, I can talk about music all day. If you want to get your own request in, you can do so on Patreon or PayPal. Either are okay, but neither are necessary. But they do guarantee that I will check out your song eventually. If you do not want to wait, there is the Platinum Support tier, which DJ Singletone is a part of and made this whole video possible. So that is a skip the line kind of system, top tier. And a big shout out to the rest of my supporters that do that: Fly, Turn Arclight, Rogue Monk, Moon Knight, and Vincent. And thanks again to Josh for requesting the original one. And thanks to you for watching. Thanks to these patrons as well. Thanks to the Persona community. Your music rules in your games. Shout out to Shoji. So until next time, dudes and dudettes, my name is Jesse. This is the Auditorium. I will see you in the next one. Peace.